football field to the housing market. Super Bowl champion Casey Crawford entered the real estate market with just 4 employees in an effort to make it easier for home buyers to secure a mortgage. Just 8 years after launch, Movement Mortgage is one of the top 10 purchase lenders in the country with more than 4,000 employees. Joining us right now, the man himself, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end and co-founder and CEO of Movement Mortgage, Casey Crawford. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations. Wow. How easy was that? You launched your company in 2008 at the height of the collapse of the housing market. You moved seamlessly from football to housing. What made you enter the industry, and how'd you do it?
Well, I actually had a football coach that when I signed with the Carolina Panthers, I was the 5th tight end on a team that never kept more than 3. And he gave me a great piece of advice. He said, Casey, always find a way to be needed. And I think in 2008, what was needed in the United States was a new, fresh take on mortgages. The biggest providers in the U.S. were collapsing, countrywide, a lot of those names. And regulation was being put on the industry like never before that the big banks weren't able to navigate. But people still wanted to buy homes. So we put together a process that really enabled that and has driven a lot of success for us last year.
How did you know what to do? How were you so informed about mortgages and housing?
Well, thankfully I had a little bit of adult supervision. But I can tell you, in the NFL at the time, a lot of the locker room talk was around housing and real estate, right?
Is that right?
I think our now president-elect, Donald Trump, once said the only bad investment in real estate was the one you didn't make, and that wisdom was being passed prolifically in the locker room. So I got involved in real estate while I was actually playing. And
I bet, because we were at a moment in time where, well, before the crisis, that markets were bubbling up.
It was incredible,
yeah.
Right? It's incredible. I mean, everything's going nothing but up. And again, we had a bunch of young, high testosterone NFL players running around. They were all investing in that surge, and I got sucked into it as well. Thankfully, I again had some adult supervision when I got out that helped shepherd me and guide me in the mortgage business.
So, what growth that you've seen and that you've led? Your company has grown exponentially in less than 10 years. How do you compete with some of the traditional guys out there? I mean, to offer mortgages, what's the selling point to go to Movement?
My wife asked the same thing when we started this, and I told her...
That's a good question.
So, on the macro level, when we started as a company of 4, there was no way we were going to compete with Bank of America, the biggest banks across the United States, but we could help one homeowner in a more exceptional manner. We could serve them better. And what we did was architect a process around the regulation. We worked with the regulators, understanding what they wanted to see happen. And we architected our process around closing a borrower on the 8th business day, which was in line with Dodd-Frank at the time. We had the benefit of doing that. The big banks had to adjust and react to that new regulation. We architected ourselves around that regulation. That led to really exponential growth from, like I said, 4 employees to about 5,000 today.
5,000 employees from 4 when you started in less than 10 years. That is amazing. So let me ask you about what's going on now.
Yeah.
Mortgage rates right now at their highest since July 2015. Yep. Interest rates, the 10-year creeping up. With the election and a new president, what happens in terms of rates? Does that put a crimp in the strength that you've seen?
Yeah, well, 3 weeks ago, right? We're all watching as the markets tumble 800 points. We're looking at a 10-year tumble, and everyone's on the phone going, man, the refinance boom is about to hit again. We're going to see rates at record lows. 3 hours later, a calming speech is given. Markets come back up, and 10 years now up over 230 basis points, which is really putting us into only purchase territory. So we're actually seeing that the market is fairly enthusiastic. Home buyers are optimistic. And, I think we're looking for a sustained purchase market. The NBA actually just put out numbers yesterday projecting over $1 trillion in purchase money mortgages in 2017, which is the highest we've seen since 2007.
Wow, and you think millennials are going to be a big part of that?
Yeah, millennials are huge. They are now the largest segment of home buyers in the United States. And a lot of these guys are getting a little bit older, right? The millennials were 18 to 34. Now they're starting to push up to 35, 36. They're having families. They're moving out of their homes, their moms and dads, and they're starting to buy. And you know what? They expect a digital experience, and they expect a seamless experience. And that's really what Movement's trying to provide for them, is a new best-in-class experience in the home purchase.
So that was an emphasis for you, to emphasize targeting millennials.
Yeah, absolutely. Targeting millennials and really architecting a process that work with regulation to continue to make the home buying process smooth and easy. I think what we've seen, unfortunately, with regulation in the last 8 years is that it's gotten costly and more cumbersome for most banks to deliver mortgages. We're able to underwrite and process about 75% of our mortgages inside of 7 business days because we use technology working with the current regulations to keep that home buying process as smooth as possible.
Wow, and I know that the company is also the only lender with a completely mobile and digital application.
Yeah, we work with a Peter Thiel-backed fintech company, a best-in-class provider, to provide an incredible EasyApp for borrowers to be able to apply online and on their phone. And One really cool stat about this, we found that families that make less than $50,000 a year were 3 times more likely to apply using their phone. We couldn't figure out why, so we started polling them. We found they didn't have home internet. So we're finding the mobile and digital applications is really democratizing the mortgage application process.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Let me switch gears, Casey, ask you about, do you miss football? Really?
You know, football was a great start in life. It was a lot of fun when you're young and have a lot of energy. I do not miss getting broken up on Sunday afternoon.
Oh my God, I could imagine. It's incredible. But I mean, the NFL's trip to Mexico, the Raiders won the game, obviously. This